How can Apple sell asterisk $12.99 Apple TV asterisk when real 8K content barely exists? That is the question everyone will ask. And honestly, it sounds ridiculous. Netflix's mostly 4K sports are still mostly 1080p or 4K. Most movies are not delivered in native 8K. So why would anyone buy an 8K Apple TV isk? Here is the twist. Apple may not be selling 8K content. Apple may be selling a asterisk 8K illusion asterisk. And that illusion is powered by AI. Apple TV Vision Pro does not wait for studios to release native 8K movies. It takes what you already watch 4K movies, 1080p videos, compressed streams, old shows, sports, games, and then it rebuilds them in real time. Sharper edges, cleaner shadows, better motion, more natural colors, brighter dark scenes, cleaner dialogue, more cinematic sound. So the movie you stream is not the final movie you see. The Apple TV changes it before it reaches your screen. That is the real trick. And if Apple pulls it off, this is not a streaming box anymore. It becomes a cinema processor. But here is where the story gets bigger. Because Apple TV Vision Pro is not only about movies, it is also about gaming. And that is where Sony should start paying attention. Because this device has a SHISC 2TB storage option, a 20 Vision chip asterisk, controller support, high frame rate gaming, AI upscaling, and Apple Arcade Pro-style ambitions. That sounds less like Roku, and more like PlayStation, but Apple will not fight PlayStation directly. Apple's strategy is different. Sony sells you a console. Apple sells you the whole room, your TV, your iPhone, your HomePods, your Vision Pro headset, your smart home, your movies, your media library, everything connected through one box. That is the dangerous part. Now think about the price again. Ask $12.99 sounds insane for a streaming box. But Apple does not want you to compare it with a streaming box. Apple wants you to compare it with a console, a media player, a cinema processor, a smart home hub, and maybe even part of the Vision Pro ecosystem. Suddenly, the argument changes. Still expensive, but not random. Now here comes the second twist. The biggest feature may not be 8K. It may be asterisk USB-C external SSD support asterisk. That sounds boring. But for serious users, it is huge. Because streaming is convenient, but streaming is compressed. A real home theater user wants local media. High bitrate movies, huge files, personal libraries, external drives, real quality. So if Apple TV Vision Pro finally lets users plug in an SSD and play local files, that changes its identity completely. Now it is not only a Netflix box, it becomes a real media hub. And that is something Apple TV has been missing for years. But then comes the third twist. Picture quality alone is not cinema. Sound is cinema. And this is where Apple has to fix one of the biggest complaints. Audio pass-through. If Vision Pro costs $12.99, people will expect proper cinema audio, Dolby Atmos, DTS:*X Pro, lossless audio, full audio pass-through, no weak conversion, no compromise. Your AV receiver should get the clean signal. Your speakers should do their job. Dialogue should stay clear. Explosions should feel wide. Bass should hit deep. Surround effects should move around the room properly. Because if Apple says AI cinema but audio is still limited home theater, people will destroy it in the comments. And they would be right. Now pause here, because this is the real problem Apple has to solve. Apple users love simplicity. Home theater users love control. These two groups are not the same. Apple wants everything clean, locked, smooth, and automatic. Home theater users want settings, ports, pass-through, storage, file support, and control. So Apple TV Vision Pro has to do something Apple usually avoids. It has to become powerful without becoming complicated. That is not easy, and that is why this product is risky. Now let's talk about the hidden cost. The box may cost $12.99. But that is not the real price. To actually enjoy it, you may need a premium 8K TV, a fast internet connection, a serious sound system, a good HDMI setup, external SSDs, a controller, maybe HomePods, maybe even Vision Pro. So the real setup could easily feel like a $3,000 to $5,000 living room upgrade asterisk. That is where normal users will walk away. They will say, why not just buy the $199 Apple TV Ultra asterisk? And honestly, for most people, they are right. Ultra is the dangerous model for Vision Pro. Because if Ultra gives you 4K 20 FPS, gaming, AI features, smart home control, fast performance, and a reasonable price, then Vision Pro has to prove why it costs $1,100 more asterisk. That is the real battle. Not Apple TV versus Roku. Not Apple TV versus Fire TV. The real battle is Apple TV Ultra versus Apple TV Vision Pro. Value versus fantasy. Practical versus futuristic. Smart buy versus dream device. And this is where the video becomes interesting, because Vision Pro does not need to sell to everyone. It only needs to sell to the people who want the best. The person with the giant OLED or 8K TV, the person with HomePods or a real sound system, the person with a huge movie library, the person who wants console-style gaming, the person already inside the Apple ecosystem. For that person, Vision Pro starts making sense. Not because it is cheap, because it is complete. But here is the final twist. Apple may not even care if most people buy it. This could be a halo product, just like Vision Pro headset, expensive, futuristic, limited audience, but it shows where Apple wants to go. Then later, those features slowly move down. AI cinema comes to Ultra. Better gaming comes to cheaper models. Better audio comes to the full lineup. USB-C storage becomes normal. And suddenly, the expensive Vision Pro was not the end product. It was the preview. That may be Apple's real strategy. Launch the crazy model first. Make people talk. Make the ecosystem look futuristic. Then bring the useful features down to cheaper models later. So is Apple TV Vision Pro the future of TV or an overpriced trap? The honest answer is it depends on what Apple actually delivers. If it has weak AI upscaling, no serious gaming, no proper pass-through, no USB storage, and limited local media, then it is a trap. A very expensive trap. But if it delivers real AI 8K enhancement, 2 TB storage, PlayStation-level gaming, full audio pass-through, USB-C SSD support, and deep Vision Pro integration, then it becomes something much bigger. It becomes Apple's first real living room platform. Not a box, a platform for movies, games, audio, smart home, AI, and spatial entertainment. That is why this product is dangerous. Because if it fails, people will laugh at the price. But if it works, Apple may finally own the living room.